Okay, and so our basic, and you guys don't have this sheet, but our basic quadratic form goes like this. And we've been doing them. Ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, before we drew the two parentheses and we said x and x, and what are two numbers that add up to give us the middle. That was still a quadratic. Okay, now let's talk about the picture, because that's mostly what your stuff is. You're going to graph them. Okay, so, and I know this is going to sound childish, I'm well aware, but the method works. Okay, this is our mommy and daddy function. Okay, every function is based on this function. This is the plain old x squared function. Now, let's talk about some of these terms. So the vertex, that means where the graph starts. So if we look, this is kind of in the shape of a U. Okay, that means that this bottom piece or this very top piece, if it was like this, that's the vertex. Okay, and it's a coordinate. The mommy and daddy function, the vertex is on what? Look at it. What is the vertex on? Where does it start? Okay, what's the bottom of the U? It's at 0. Okay, the vertex on the mommy and daddy function is always at 0, 0. Okay, the axis of symmetry, because you're going to see on your sheet AOS. AOS, that means axis of symmetry. Okay, that is an imaginary line that splits that graph in half. Okay, so you ever played like Fruit Ninja or Fruit Slice, whatever? Okay, you go through and you like karate chop, put your phones up, because then you guys are going to be lost because you're not paying attention to notes. Okay, I never do notes, so give me a break. Okay, if you've ever played like Fruit Ninja, Fruit Slice, what have you, okay, there's an imaginary line that splits this graph exactly in half. Okay, and I can tell you whatever this number is the part that goes to the axis of symmetry. Okay, and then vertex form, this is the part you need to write on your sheet. So at the top of your sheet, write this. Okay, this is the formula. You have to know it, and I'm going to explain to you what each piece is. Okay, eventually you should be able to look at this. I'm no teaching. Okay, eventually you should be able to look at this and know what each piece does. So we're going to start with the K. So see how, first of all, see how the K is on the outside of the parentheses? It's at the very end. Okay, if it is a plus, that means that the graph goes up K units. So if it says plus 4, it goes up 4. Okay, if it says minus, what do you think it does? It goes down K units. So if there's a minus 2, it goes down 2. If there's a minus 10, it goes down 10. Okay? You cannot graph these without this. Okay? So if you think that you're not going to write this down, you have to. Okay? There's no way to graph it without it. Okay? And then the inside, we're really looking at the H. If it says minus, most of you guys would think to go this way. Okay? But instead you kind of go the other way. So if it says minus, you're going to the right. Okay, if there's a minus on the inside, so if it says minus 4, you're going right forward. Okay, so what do you think a plus does? Yeah, you go left. Okay, and then I don't think there's any with the A today. There is not. Okay, so by the end of today, you should have this memorized. Okay, that red and blue stuff. Whether you go up, down, left, right. Okay. Okay, let's look at some of these. Okay, so see how this is on the outside? Okay, it's not in sub parentheses. Look at the 3. Okay, this black one, this is our mommy and daddy function. See how it just shifted up 3? Okay, well it said minus 2, and so the blue one went down 2. Okay, if it's on the inside, okay, this black one is our mommy and daddy. So essentially we went over 1. Okay, or we went over 2. That's what we're doing today. Okay, now let's look at your sheet. Okay, our very first one is our mommy and daddy function. Okay, and I'm actually going to do 1 and 2. I'm not going to do 1. I'm going to do 2. Okay, well, I'm going to do 1 and 2. So this graph starts at 0, 0. We're going to graph the mom and dad function. It starts at 0, 0. There's some properties with these graphs. To get the second set of points, because on all these you're going to plot 5 points, you go up 1 from this point, you go up 1 and over 1, and you're going to put a dot. And you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay, from the vertex, you're gonna go up one, over one the other way. Okay, we need to make that U or that V shape. Now, from the vertex, you're gonna go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over 2. Okay, same thing, you're gonna do that on the other side. So from the vertex, you're gonna go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And this is gonna give us that nice U/V shape. Okay, now the vertex, that's the very first point that we plotted. What is it on? On 0, okay, or 0, 0. The axis of symmetry, whatever the first number is gonna go here, okay? So if it's 4, this one's gonna be 4, okay? And so in this case, it's 0. You could split this graph in half right at 0. Okay, X-intercepts, what that's saying is, does it intercept, AKA, does it touch or cross the X line? Okay, well, right here is the X line. Does it touch it anywhere? Look at it, follow it over. Does it touch it? Yeah, where? At 0. Okay, min or max. If it is shaped like this, okay, upwards, it has a minimum. Okay, if it's shaped like this, downwards, it's gonna have a maximum. So is this a min or a max? It is a minimum. Okay, now we're gonna graph number 3 also. What is the difference between number 1 and, or number 2, I'm sorry. Number 1 and number 2. Look at it, what's the difference? There's a negative. Okay, all the negatives does is take the graph from going this way and it flips it upside down. That's what a negative does, okay, if it's in the front. So, same thing, where does our mommy and daddy graph start? Always, at 0. Okay, so it starts at 0. The second set of points, always, no matter what, you're gonna go down 1, over 1. Okay, and you're going to do that on both sides. How many do you go down for the third set of points? 4 over how many? 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 2. Okay, our vertex, where does this graph start? What is the first point we made? It starts at 0, 0. Okay, and it's a coordinate. Make sure you have the comma in the parentheses. Okay, the axis of symmetry. Where does the graph split exactly in half? Okay, it is the same as whatever's here is going to be here, so it's 0. The X-intercepts. Does it touch the X line? Where? At 0. Does this have a min or a max? A max. What is the only difference here? Okay, the negative, or it has a min or a max. That's the only difference. Okay, but it's still that mommy and daddy function. Can I scroll? Okay, now here's where we need to look at our notes. Okay? Hopefully you wrote them down. So, this is on the outside. What does a minus do on the outside? You should have wrote it on your notes. I told you, write down that formula. What does a minus do on the outside? Okay, so it's on the outside and it's a minus, so it does what? It goes down, okay? So here's what I'm telling you to do. Keep your pencil on 0. Don't make a dot until it's ready. So you're gonna go down 4. So from here, count down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're right here. What does a +3 on the inside do? It's gonna go left 3. Okay, so we're gonna, from this 4, where your pencil's at, you're gonna go 1, 2, 3. That is our vertex. Okay, we shifted that graph down 4 and over 3. Okay, now the rest of it's still the same. You're gonna go up 1, over 1. And what about the second set? How many do you go up? Up 4 over 2 from the vertex. Do not do this. Look up here. Do not count from this one up 4 over 2. That's not going to work. Okay, you got to count from this one. Up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 over 2. 3, 4 over 2. Okay, what is the vertex? What is the first point that we plotted? -3, comma, -4. What is the axis of symmetry? -3. Okay, so whatever's here is going to go here. The X-intercepts, does it cross the X line? Yes, where? Okay, so go to the X line. Where does it cross at? -1, and what else? -5. Okay, here's where I'm going to be a stickler. Do not use a comma. Okay? Use a slash or use the and sign. Do not use a comma, because what the comma says is that it's a coordinate, like this. This is a coordinate. Okay, does this have a min or a max? A min.